This is your ABC Starter Kit. Everything you need to know about Lost in about 5 minutes. Season 4.
The freighter sent a research team by helicopter to the island, where they were discovered by the survivors.
Who are you? I'm here to rescue you.
Locke is actually the pessimist. He goes, these people are gonna kill us. They're gonna wipe us out.
If you want to live, you need to come with me.
There are two types of people on the freighter. There's scientists, and then there's military guys. And the scientists come first. In the meantime, the military guys are sort of moving in with their guns and their explosives, and they are trying to get Benjamin Linus off the island.
Get your ass out here right now, or I'm gonna kill your daughter.
Go ahead and do it.
And their mission is not only to take out Benjamin Linus, but to take out everybody else who's on the island.
This is Charles Widmore, the man whose boat is parked offshore. Charles Widmore wants to exploit this island, and he'll do everything in his power to possess it.
Locke and Ben were determined to secure the safety of the island, so they journeyed to a place deep in the jungle to find answers.
You know why I'm here?
Yeah. Do you?
Because I was chosen to be.
That's absolutely right.
The science team began shuttling survivors to the freighter, and in the jungle, Ben lured the mercenary team into a trap.
Thank you for coming, Richard.
Goodbye, John.
You're gonna have to lie.
Excuse me?
If you have to go, then you have to lie about everything. It's the only way to protect it. Just wait till you see what I'm about to do.
Underneath the orchid is this mysterious wheel, and if you turn that wheel, that will actually cause the island to move in space-time.
Let's go for a ride!
But before the survivors reached the freighter, they were met with yet another obstacle.
I'd feel a hell of a lot better for a few 100 pounds lighter!
Sawyer!
Sawyer's leap allowed his friends to reach the freighter. But when they arrived, they quickly learned the mercenary team rigged the boat with explosives.
That our boat?
It was.
The helicopter turns around, now starts flying towards the island, and then all of a sudden there's a giant white flash, and the island disappears. Now you have this helicopter that's flying around in the middle of the ocean with no place to land, and the helicopter crashes into the water.
Lo and behold, there's this boat.
There's a boat out there!
We're gonna have to lie. Lie about what? Every moment since we crashed on the island. What do you think's gonna happen to the people that we left behind?
He's with what? Benny!
We know the only other person who's left the island, and that's Benjamin Linus, via sort of unconventional means. And suddenly he wakes up in the desert, in Tunisia, in the middle of nowhere.
These people who will be known as the Oceanic Six decide to lie.
Is it possible there are any other survivors from the crash yet to be discovered?
No, absolutely not.
They quickly discovered that they really didn't have much in the way of lives back in the real world. Sun's in kind of a tragic place because she's kind of living with the tragedy of believing that her husband died in this freighter explosion.
The love of his life, this woman named Nadia, is there to greet Saeed. Unfortunately, Nadia dies in an accident. Benjamin Linus comes to Saeed and tells him, this was no accident. Your wife was murdered. And he gives Saeed a list of names, sort of this vast consortium of men who might or might not work for Charles Widmore.
There's a strong moral streak in Hurley. He's not really very comfortable with the idea that they are telling this lie and they've left these other people behind on the island.
And he gets himself thrown into the nut house in order to avoid that.
Kate's got this kid, Aaron, who she's telling everyone is her child, but in fact was actually Claire's child. So every day she sort of sees the gravity of the lie that she's telling. She starts a relationship up with Jack. In fact, they actually get engaged. It works for a while, but then things start to unravel. She's keeping a secret from Jack. She made a promise to Sawyer before Sawyer jumped out of the helicopter, and she won't tell Jack what that is.
Why won't you tell me?
And their relationship explodes. Once Jack left the island, he finally gets to have his father's funeral. This Australian woman comes up to Jack afterwards and introduces herself and says, I knew your father. In fact, he is the father of my daughter.
Her name's Claire.
It was emotionally devastating for him to learn after leaving Claire behind that this was his half-sister. Jack starts popping pills and drinking. When he finds out that Locke is dead, he's so devastated that he tries to kill himself. He goes and gets on a bridge and is gonna jump, and you go, wow, why is Jack so upset that Locke is dead?
He told me that after I left the island, some very bad things happened. told me that it was my fault, and he said that I had to come back.
All of you have to go back. We're gonna have to bring him too.
So there you go. Now you're off to a great start for Lost, the final season.
Own Lost seasons 1 through 5 available on DVD and Blu-ray. Catch up anytime with full episodes available at abc.com. And mark your calendar for ABC's Lost, the final season premiere event, Tuesday, February 2nd at 8/7 Central on ABC.